Peace. I enjoy to study. I enjoy the study of human beings in society. Amongst other studies, I follow the path of a Renaissance man. I love anthropology and sociology, which is the study of human beings and the study of society and their interactions and things of that nature. So we are social by nature, human beings. And history tells us that we are such. And we survived through ancient times, through now, largely on being social creatures. Food is one of the biggest social connections in history. They're comforting, thus comfort foods. We break bread, which is biblical. Thus why, during celebrations, funerals, or any type of gathering, 99.9, there's always food. Nowadays, with social media, being opinionated is highlighted. It's like exacerbated, where everybody has an opinion. Like, that's what social media gives you. That's what these platforms give you. Instagram, especially YouTube, podcasts. You say everybody, but we know that everybody isn't on social media. Everybody isn't using it as a platform. So I'm saying everybody in general terms, that it's a lot of opinions on a plethora of different subject matters. Which is perfectly fine in the grand scheme of things, because it lets a dialogue of different thoughts amongst each other. Now, they can get heated, they can be enlightening. I like them because you get to see the duality between the two. And in some occasions, you actually learn something when it's an intellectual debate, intellectual diatribe on these platforms. And social dynamics in the grand scheme is really social dynamics. And those opinions are some people's core. They're highly passionate and they get offended when you don't agree with them, right? And we like to look at that because it makes the platform, it makes the podcast, it makes the back and forth entertaining. I, for one, perfectly fine with different ideologies. I personally don't engage in those conversations for the most part because I'm not of the opinion of having somebody or trying to coerce somebody to think my thoughts or even entertaining the conversation about who's right or wrong, nor am I getting my jollies off on you hearing my side or hearing my plight. Because your experiences, your upbringing will dictate more times than not your stance on whatever the subject matter is on. And then we pick up these catchphrases like one now. Life be lifing, right? It's a catchphrase. It's in, it's fashionable right now. Life be lifing, which is true. I'm using it in the terms of what we see right now at its core, looking at anthropology and sociology. Nothing is new up under the sun. There will continue to be debates, continue to be different ideologies across the board. It always has been, it always will be, because people have their own thought processes, their own volitions. And as long as that is there, which it will continue to be there, there'll be differences in opinions. You can agree or disagree. It's irrelevant. Because what I just said is the absolute truth. Absolute meaning there's no gray areas. It's absolute truth that there will always be different opinions. When you talk about race, and different races have had their different plights, their different traumas, their different challenges. What I've come to learn is that depending on your race, you are looking at it through the lens of the struggles of your race. Let me tell you what I mean. I had a good friend of mine, he's Japanese, and he asked a question, and he was saying that why do blacks look at their slavery, chattel slavery, that came into America like this big thing, when as that happened so long ago, and why can't they move on? Because yes, it was devastating. Yes, it was wrong. But that was way back then. And he said that Japanese people went through their own hardships in America, just as in World War II or World War I, whatever which one it was, with the concentration camps. And he was saying that they went through struggles too, and they moved on. Why can't blacks move on? That was eye-opening for me, because being black, I never considered the Japanese plight, not once. So he was actually enlightening me to the Japanese plight, and I went on, proceeded to enlighten him about the slavery and blacks' plight coming from Africa and so on and so forth, which it enlightened him because he never looked at it from that lens neither. So that conversation was a very good, constructive conversation, and it let both of us see the dynamics through a different lens. It also let me know that we only look at things through the lens of our particular race and our individual issues, challenges, and plights. Though it was a cordial and constructive conversation, we both walked away gaining some value from the conversation, yet and still, it was the same. His thoughts was his thoughts, my thoughts were my thoughts, and it's fine. Nothing really changed except a little bit of enlightenment came from that conversation. So my point is, the ideals will remain the same. The arguing means nothing in the grand scheme of things. You must build and move forward and add value off the resources and the intellect that you possess and that you are growing. It's not about going back and forth. It's not about expecting handouts. It's not about arguing about who's right, who's wrong. All of that is irrelevant. It holds no value. It's like intellectual masturbation, even if I would even consider that. It's like, I want you to know that I'm right and you're wrong, or you're gonna hear my side of the story. That's crazy. It's a thin line between conversation and being egotistical and intellectual masturbation. It don't matter. You could be looking at this video and thinking, it does matter. And the only thing you'll be doing is proving my point. Because now, even with this concise conversation, this concise highlighting of things that I considered as no relevance, that you will even debate that. Whereas your life, your financial stance could be in shambles. And even if it's not, I don't give a fuck what you're talking about. It's irrelevant. It's just a little food for thought and to give you something to ruminate on and to keep the conversation going. Like, comment, subscribe, share the video. Let me know what your thoughts is on back and forth arguing about somebody to understand your side of the story, how passionate you are, and all the things that make you feel good to get your masturbation off. We still gonna think what we think, and we still gonna be who we are. And that's what we doing. On to the next one. Peace.